Hey guys, what's going on? This is Dr. Chad Kuntz. I realized after this most recent lecture that I gave at the Harris YMCA that I wanted to continue to fill in the gaps for education for you guys, for the fitness professionals, for the personal trainers. There's just endless amount of information. I realized that doing the lectures and the seminars are great. It's a great way to initially connect with you, but and due to logistics, it's hard to meet up as often as we wanted. So I thought it might be helpful, and you can let me know after we're done with this, if this is something that you would like maybe more of down the road, where I could even block out some more time and send you guys some more information, and then depending on what the problems you're having, I could create videos and send that over to you guys via email. That's just a nice simple way that we can get and connect, because not everyone's on Facebook, not everyone's on Instagram, but almost everyone has an email. So I figured let's start with that. Today I wanted to cover the importance of training your core for strength. This is just something I've seen a lot in the fitness industry. When it comes to abdominal work, for whatever reason, we all turn on kind of the aerobic mindset where we want to do, hundreds and hundreds of reps for 3 to 5 minutes straight. But we may not have that same thought process like when we do deadlifts or squats or whatever that may be. And that's in the case of strength. So one really important aspect out of today's training is that I want you guys to know that it's absolutely not even just okay, but it's actually imperative to train the core for strength, because I'm constantly finding that there's so many weaknesses in the core. And as you guys know, it's a little cliche, but oftentimes it does start there. But people may have been training their core and they're frustrated that they don't have the strength, but it's because they're training a different system, that they're training more for aerobic. And we need to also train it for strength. Not that there's anything wrong with training it for just the aerobic kind of perspective and burning fat, but training for strength can actually be just as important. I'm going to review just 3 exercises today that you guys can start implementing to help your clients train for strength. And I should also mention, it is totally appropriate and okay if you do, let's say, 3 sets of 10 reps of these exercises with up to a 2-minute rest break. It is absolutely okay. That might come off kind of counterintuitive, and they might be like, what are we just sitting around for? But if you find that right level of challenge, these exercises should be medium to hard for them just to accomplish those 8 to 10 reps, just like you would training a bent over row, or if you're doing a bench press and you try and train for strength. So the abdominal wheel exercise is actually a classic. I think a lot of people, just by doing it, as you see here, with good form. So look at my low back and notice that it's flat. I'm not arched through the low back, and my arms are getting all the way overhead. If you do that well on your knees, that alone will cause a great challenge for your clients. And I'll be surprised if a lot of them can go that low and get into 10 reps. I wouldn't even expect that a lot of you get to this point with your clients, but heck, for some of the higher athletes, you might be able to. But trying to get the hand all the way onto your toes is incredibly challenging. But what you'll see there for me, when you get to your end limit, make sure that you can allow the knees to come down. I did want to back up and just say one other thing too with this. So when people come out of the extended position right there, as they're coming back into the position that they started in, that's when people tend to want to arch. So you got to keep a really keen eye on that one. So the wheel abdominal rollouts can be a great way of actually assessing their strength and just seeing how long of a lever arm can they handle while maintaining the quality that you want. So another one that I want to go over are the barbell rollouts. So if you don't have a wheel roller, the barbell rollouts are a great example of that. What I like about this, which is slightly different from the wheels, that you can widen your hands. See how my hands are much wider? And so that's going to put my lats at a better opportunity for a lot of people who have really tight lats, bringing your arms close together kind of tightens you up and makes it even harder, especially if we're talking about keeping your low back clean the way you want to. Again, there is kind of an eccentric longer lever progression that some of you may not get to, and that's totally fine. So with your clients, just by getting them into this position on their knees and teaching them how to control their back position for strength can be great. Also with the barbell rollouts, you can change the height based upon the barbell weights that you put on there. So these 25-pound plates are going to be smaller than a 45-pound plate. So what do you guys think would be harder? If I went all the way down to like tens, or if I had 45 plates on which are taller? And your answer is. So it'll actually be harder with the smaller weights because you're going to be facing and you're going to be more parallel with gravity's force of straight down. Whereas if you start to elevate it by incline or bigger weights, you're going to be a little more incline, and it should make it a little bit easier. So what's nice about this one is that you can kind of play with that extra variable to find that recipe that's exactly right for your clients. So for example, my eccentric progression, I was about done right there. If I went to 45-pound plates, that might give me a little bit of an incline. I might actually be able to do that. The last one I wanted to cover today are what I call dynamic core walkouts. And again, this is a third exercise I want to cover that can be great to assess your strength. And honestly, if you guys do this right for even 3 to 10 reps, you might find that they're gassed. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that strength component for people to really get fatigued with 8 to 10 reps to find that magic amount. So with dynamic walkouts, I really like it because it is just that. It's dynamic. You have to kind of move your hands side to side. When I begin, I'm actually getting a nice stretch through my hamstrings. I'm trying to get my palms to the ground. A lot of your clients won't be able to do that. But what's cool about this, guys, is that I noticed after I did a few reps, I was actually able to get my palms down to the ground. All right. When I first started, it was actually challenging for me to get my palms all the way down. After I even had done a couple reps, I felt looser, and that's because I was engaging my core. So you're going to just kind of slowly crawl your arms out all the way overhead. Again, we're keeping an eye on my low back, and if you were standing behind my feet, you could kind of see how much wiggle room I have side to side. All right, and then I can slowly crawl back, engages the serratus anterior, engages the core, engages your anterior chain. It's actually one hell of a workout. You can actually progress it into plyometrics too, where you're pushing up and down all the way up and down. Let me just show you that one more time. Coming down, nice hip hinge, keeping my legs straight, palms to the floor if possible, and then I'm starting to hop and skip a little bit. Letting the triceps work, you don't have to keep your elbows straight. And I'm going to try to get it overhead as much as possible. For your older geriatric population, just doing that on an elevated surface, heck, they might even kind of mimic it on the wall. So there are a lot of different types of angles and regressions. But anyway, guys, I hope that was helpful. Let me know if this is something that you guys think would be helpful. I'd be more than happy to kind of block out some time, create some good content that's specific to the problems you're having, so we don't have to just wait months or years, it feels like, to give you guys the good content you need. So although no CECs for this, hopefully it's helpful on a practical and pragmatic day-to-day kind of routine. So thank you guys so much, and we'll talk to you soon.